One of the biggest surprises to the start of the 2024-25 OHL regular season was the hot start of the Niagara IceDogs. They challenged for top spot in the Central Division, first in the Eastern Conference for the first half of the regular season. And since the trade deadline where they stood pat, we started to see the team slide a little in the standings. And then now they're in the middle of a, a streak where they've only earned one win in their last 17 games. Mind you, that was a big win. It was against the London Knights, but they've tumbled all the way down to seventh in the Eastern Conference standings. And to make matters worse, the Ontario Hockey League is conducting an investigation into the Niagara IceDogs. It's in regards to a conduct of a cultural review. Bryan Crawford, the commissioner of the Ontario Hockey League, saying that it's not a criminal investigation, so it's not in that nature, but they have hired a lawyer, Turnpenny Milne LLP. They're going to conduct the review, and they practice exclusively in the area of workplace law. Now, we don't know the details as to what resulted in the complaints that led to this investigation by the Ontario Hockey League, but this is unfortunate for an Ice Dogs team that's kind of had these problems in the past. And I was even watching an interview with St. Catharines Mayor Matt Cisco, who's a season ticket holder for the Niagara IceDogs. He's been a season ticket holder for the last 15 years. So he has a passion for junior hockey. And he says that the IceDogs mean a lot to the community. And now hearing that there's an investigation into the team, he says it's frustrating. And right now the city, they're going to hold back. They want to see where this investigation goes in regards to the Niagara IceDogs before making any decisions themselves. But at this point, if we don't know what led to the complaints or what this cultural investigation is all about, then there's not much the city can do at this point. But the history of the Niagara IceDogs has not been too kind recently. Of course, they just clinched their first playoff spot since 2019. And if you remember back, in 2022, there was an investigation into the Burks, as Joey Burke and Billy Burke. They were involved in a controversy surrounding WhatsApp when comments were made about a member of the front office. And that got loose, and that resulted in a $150,000 fine against the Niagara IceDogs. And both Joey Burke and head coach Billy Burke at the time were suspended, but then that resulted in the Burks selling the Niagara IceDogs to Darren DeDobler. So that was back in 2022. And after that, though, the following year, there was another investigation involving the Niagara IceDogs, and they ended up being fined $100,000. They lost their first round draft pick, and DeDobler, who was serving as general manager at the time, also suspended as a result for 2 years following an incident involving Josh Rosenzweig and Landon Caddo, and both those players were banned from the Ontario Hockey League. So it sounds like that was a bit of a hazing situation that the OHL investigated in that time. So since 2022, we've now had 3 investigations involving the Niagara IceDogs hockey team, and they're all different circumstances. But still, when you're a fan of the Niagara IceDogs, it's a little frustrating seeing that this team, who they're going to be in the playoffs, but they're not heading in the right direction right now. So that's all we know in regards to this investigation that's been launched by the OHL. I'm sure we will find out some more details in the coming weeks, but I'm also wondering they might not want to say too much about what's going on until after the Niagara IceDogs are done in the postseason. We still don't know who their opponent's going to be in the first round. Right now, they are sitting 7th, as I mentioned earlier. If the playoffs started today, they would meet the Barrie Colts in the first round of the playoffs, but there's still time. The Colts right now trying to catch the Brantford Bulldogs for first in the Eastern Conference standings. The Colts right now 3 points back of Brantford. So with that in mind, the IceDogs, they could play Brantford, Barrie. There's the chance of Kingston or even Oshawa. So right now, if you are an IceDogs fan, I'm sure it's tough hearing that your team is being investigated once again by the Ontario Hockey League, but it's a fan base that, there's passion. The IceDogs franchise, since they moved from Mississauga in the 2007-2008 season, this community has embraced junior hockey, and they've been so passionate ever since this team arrived in the city of St. Catharines. They've had 2 runs to OHL championships. They've had some great talent come through this organization. You've got the likes of Alex Pietrangelo, Andrew Agazzino, Dougie Hamilton, just to name a few. Like, this organization also has a great core going forward with the likes of Kevin He, Robrick, Wasselin, and even Owen Flores. What a run he's had carrying this team on his back. And I know Flores is hurt right now, and it's hard to say if he'll be back come playoff time, but this is a team that really wants some positive news, and they want to see this team heading in the right direction. We did hear earlier this season that they want to bid on the 2027 Memorial Cup, but if you're having problems like this off the ice, how is that going to look if the Canadian Hockey League decides that they're going to put the Memorial Cup in St. Catharines, where a team has been investigated now 3 times since 2022? So a very tough situation here. I'll follow along here on the channel to see what comes up next, but you got to feel for the Niagara IceDogs fan base. They just want to have a contender on the ice again. It's exciting that playoff hockey is going to return to the Meridian Center, but now with this cloud hanging over the franchise, maybe whatever's going on with this complaint, is that having an impact with what's going on the ice? Right? Like I said, I haven't heard any specifics in regards to this situation, but you have to wonder. The investigation apparently started March 3rd, and since then, this team, through the month of February, this team didn't win a single game. Their first win was at the beginning of the month against the London Knights. So you have to wonder, with what's going on off the ice, is that having an impact now with the product on the ice? So let me know in the comments down below your thoughts on the situation involving the Niagara IceDogs. Like I said, I feel for Ice Dog fans, as they're a very passionate group, but we'll have to wait and see if they can string some wins together before the postseason gets underway. So again, thank you very much for your support. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Talk to you again soon.